Hello, Glorious family. How are you? I hope you're doing great. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Gloria Kelechi, welcoming you from the city of Partakers to my channel. So today in this video, I just want to make a simple A-cut gown with this fabric in my hand. It's 3-yard fabric. So I'll be combining it with the organza to add some color to it. So let's go back to the cutting table and do justice to the dress. So I've just spread out my fabric on the floor. I'm using the floor. I do not have energy to stand, so I decided to use the floor. I'll spread out my fabric on the floor and I'm cutting out the excess. I've taken out the measurement that I need, so I'll be cutting out the excess from it. I won't be needing that part of the fabric, so I'm just going to fold it aside and keep it. I'm going to decide what I will do with it later on, but for now I'll just keep it aside while I work on the main fabric. So right here I'm just taking out my measurement from my neck to my bust point to my waist. So those are the major measurements that are needed, because the A cut is going to run from the waist down to the full length. The full length of my dress is 40. I decided to go with 40 because I do not want it to be too short. I made a mistake here by taking the hip measurement. The hip measurement is not actually needed in this A-cut gown, because the A-cut will run from the down to the waist. So I just did the hip measurement because I wanted it to guide me on the fullness of the flay, or the amount of, or the inches I needed the flay to be. So that was why I just took out that hip measurement, but it's absolutely not necessary. So I've just called that my armhole line. Then I'll take my bust measurement. That is my bust 35 divided by 4. You just divide your tape to get it. Divide your tape into 4. You get your original measurement. Just like I've done here. I've gotten my measurement, my bust measurement divided by 4. And I add 2 inches sewing allowance to it. 1 for ease and 1 for sewing allowance. I also take out my waist measurement, my actual waist measurement divided by 4. So yeah, like I said earlier, I just took this hip measurement to guide me on the fullness of the flay, but it's actually not necessary. You can make this dress without marking out the hip measurement, but I just put it there to guide me, because that A cut will run to the waistline. Yeah, so taking the hip measurement is just to guide me. So I'm taking out my neck measurement. For the neck I'm taking 3.5 for the neck width, and for the neck depth I'm taking 3 for both the back and the front. You can decide what you want to do with your own. You can decide to make the neck V-neck or any kind of neck, but I just decided to go with round neck with the same neck depth for both the back and the front. And I'm cutting it out. I'm just going to give that zip line a notch so that I will know where the zip line starts from. I'll know where the zipper allowance starts from. So I just want to give it shape. So when I put the zip, it will relax on my back. It will not puff out. That's why I'm giving it a little curve, as you see me do right now. The essence of the curve is to help the zip to relax when you're done fixing it. So yeah, I'm done taking the measurement. I just want to be sure of the length of the flake, and I'm fine with what I have. So I'm just going to cut it out. So I'm done cutting it out. I'm going to take the front now, while keeping the back aside. I'm going to take the front and mark out how I want the flounce to appear, because I'm going to be adding flounce in the front of the dress with the organza. I'm going to be pleating the organza, and then I'll sew it round on the front of the dress. So I'm just taking my measurement and marking it out just how I want it to appear. So that's what I've just done. I've taken it to the length I want, and then I gave it a little curve. So now I'm just going to go and cut out this organza. I'm going to measure the length of the curve. Yeah, like you see me do. I'm measuring the length of the curve. So whatever I have here, I'm going to double it, times it by 2, and then cut organza that is twice the number of the length that I got. So when I done cutting it, I'll now gather it together. I'll pleat it, then I'll run it on the dress. So I'm trying to pleat the organza that I will run on the front of the dress. So I cut out 2 stripes, and then I sew them together and then turn them inside out before pleating it, so that there will be no raw edges. So to avoid the raw edges, I just cut 2 pieces of it, then sew them together and turn it inside out to hide the raw edges. So I'm just sewing the flounce on the front of the dress, as you see me do. I pinned it first before sewing it down, so that it doesn't shift out of position. So the pin is serving as a guide. Yeah. So the excess flounce, I'll just use my scissors to trim it at the shoulder side. This excess one, just use the scissors. I just use my scissors to trim it off. And then later on, I'm going to go and iron it. So now just trying to turn the neck of the dress with the lining. So I'm just turning the neck. I padded the neck of the lining with a gum stay to help the neck to to be strong and not to just shift around. So I padded it with a gum stay. Now I'm stop stitching it. After turning it, I decided to stop stitch it. It helps to give it more firmness. So I'm closing both sides of the cloth now. I'm turning both sides and then I'll turn it inside out. So as you can see, it's standing. The flounce is standing, but by the time I'll iron it, it will relax. Oh, I needed some help, and my nephew King David was available to offer some helping hand to me. And yes, the boy is so happy to help. Look at his face. That's my nephew King David, my sister's son. So, so my friends, my glorious family members, I just want to appreciate everyone who has been with me, all of my subscribers. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for sticking with me on this channel. And if you're not a member yet of the glorious family, if you're not a subscriber yet, please, I want to appeal to you to please subscribe to my channel, support your girl. A lot of people watch my videos, but I still have low subscriber count and it's not encouraging. Please, I just want to encourage you to just hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so you don't miss any of my videos when I upload them. I also appreciate your comments. After watching the videos, please do well to drop a comment for me. I would like to have feedbacks from you, okay? Please do well to subscribe, okay? Thank you so much. I appreciate your stay on my channel. God bless you. So I'm just joining both the back and the front together on the shoulder after I have turned both of them separately with their lining. So I'm going to be joining them on the shoulder, just like I'm doing right here. This dress is very simple to make. The only thing that made me to waste time on this dress was the flounce I added because I had to take my time to pleat the dress. So pleating the dress took a while because I needed, so you can see the difference between now that I have ironed the flounce and that time when it was not yet ironed. Now that it is ironed, it has relaxed and is looking more prettier. So that's just it. So like I was saying, it was just this flounce that took me a while to do. Aside that, it's a very simple dress that you can make in less than 30 minutes. So I'm taking my final measurement and I'm closing the clothes. I'm joining them side by side, taking my final measurement. I'm trying to take off pins. Okay, so now I've taken out the pins and I just want to flip this dress to the right side so that we can see what it looks like exactly. So this is what it looks like. So I'm just going to go and cut the hand. So here I am with the organza. I've laid it out on the ground. So I'm going to cut a ball hand, a pleated ball hand. Is it ball hand? No, puff, puff hand. So it's not ball hand, it's puff. So I just want to give it a puff hand. It will be a little bit exaggerated. I don't want it to be small. I want it to be a little bit exaggerated and I want to use this organza for it. So I'm just going to cut out the sleeve using this organza. So I'm just going to take my measurement again, my sleeve measurement. I just want to be sure of the sleeve that I want. I don't want it to be below my elbow. That's why I'm retaking the measurement to be sure. So here I'm just pleating the sleeve to give me that puff effect. I'm going to be pleating both the down, the lower part and the upper part. Then I'll be using the fabric, the Ankara fabric, as a band around the elbow area of my sleeve. So I want it to be the band there. That's why I'm sewing it to the organza sleeve. So now that I'm done sewing the two sleeves, I'm going to go ahead and join them to the body of the dress.